this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Hey, welcome to another episode of Get It Right Texoma. Glad to have you here. This is the Texoma trio right here. We got me, Mike Hendren, Jerry McAdams, Trey Sralla. Yeah. So we need a sounder. We do. We need like a, I don't know.
We should hum that out.
Kind of intro.
Yeah, be dum dum.
I can add sound effects, yes.
Oh. Yeah. This podcast being brought to you by Eddie Hills Fun Cycles, 401 North Scott, downtown Wichita Falls since 1966, EddieHillsFunCycles.com.
And
MacTech Solutions.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Motorcycles, side-by-sides, power sports, and
Hustler lawnmowers.
Yes.
Zero turn mowers.
I have one.
Yes.
It's yellow. And
And it's fun.
It is.
They're fun.
Except when you hit a real big bump in your land. That hurts.
I will tell you, I find mowing like one with a nice mower. You know, going hand mowing's a chore, but mowing with a nice mower like that, a nice zero-turn mower, is relaxing to me. I find it relaxing. Throw in some earbuds, listen to a podcast.
Yep,
just
there you go. That's exactly what I do.
So it becomes kind of therapeutic.
And you know what I do that with? I do that with my AirPods Pro that I got here. Of course, and
Eddie Hills Fun.
I got my mower from Eddie Hills, and then I use my AirPods, and then of course I probably eat a couple cookies before.
Yes.
Yes.
After you go out and sweat, refreshing, you go back in and get you some cookies or a chocolate pie.
There you go.
There you go.
Lollie and Pop Sweet Shop.
Yes, that's right.
Which is the other sponsor.
Yes.
After MacTech. Okay, well, you did that.
Well, I hadn't completed MacTech.
Oh, sorry.
So MacTech Solutions, 4020 Ray Road, Wichita Falls, Suite 3B, MacTech-Solutions.com.
Terry has a problem with premature, so I don't know that. Premature.
And I'm proud of it, okay?
Premature advertising.
I've lost complete control of this now.
Like you ever had control.
Like I ever had a control of a damn thing. Also brought to you by Lollie and Pop Sweet Shop, lpsweet.com, the website. Also on Facebook, Lollie and Pop Sweet Shop. We've got chocolate meringue pies, cookies, fudge, pralines.
You know, let me give you a little pro tip on the Lollie and Pop Sweet Shop. Get the big chocolate chip cookies, cut them in half, and then just freeze them. And then you could take it out and you get that thing and you could stick it in your pocket for a few minutes and whatever, or just set it out for about 10 minutes and it's perfect. It's nice and cold. Now, if you want to warm it up, you can zap them. They're great warmed up, but if you like a nice cold cookie, that's a great way to do it. They're still, because you get the thick ones, so they're still moist in the middle, and they just got just that little bit of crunch to them. Oh, it's awesome.
We're working on a new cookie creation. Do you like Reese's Peanut Butter Cups?
Is the Pope Catholic?
Then you're going to love these.
All right.
Did you know that Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is the #1 selling candy in America?
I know.
Well,
Which doesn't surprise me so much.
Are you going to make a Buckeye? Is that what you're working on?
Well, not quite. This is a twist on a different recipe.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Put it this way, when you bite into it, it will be like heaven.
Okay, well then you're gonna have to do another taste test.
Yeah,
we got to do another test.
I'll tell you what,
we'll help you
really
with market
cookies.
research.
Yes,
exactly.
yes. We will. Market research will happen right here at this table.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, I'm calling you a liar. Bullshit. You got to prove it now. That's how you get some cookies.
All right.
Yeah,
it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah.
It's coming.
And then, so what do we do here?
Oh,
what's our
we
purpose?
try to inform and entertain you. We focus on events and news across Texoma primarily, but we do also throw in some regional, state, and national news and events as well. We try to entertain you and inform you as best we possibly can. We have on great guests from time to time. We got some great guests coming up. We got guests scheduled all the way into the end of the year right now.
Oh yeah, so we still got people working.
We got people coming. So
names that you know.
Yes.
Mayor Tim Short will be on with us. Probably the next show after this one that you see this one. Either that or the following one. He'll be on within the next two shows after you see this one.
Yeah. He'll be here, and he's always a great guest. Yeah. We got Jennica Lambert coming up. Erica Muntz scheduled to join us from Campfire. Donnie Lee, the superintendent of schools, will be back with us again. We've had him on before. We got some great guests coming up. So
Right.
Yeah.
And then we got we got a ton. So look,
Mike Campbell, Clay County Judge, Mike Campbell, Grant Freeman, who is who was coach at Old High for very many years, but he's the athletic director of Wichita Falls ISD.
Yeah.
David Spiller, who was actually a state representative, David Spiller. And then I've also spoken with James Frank's representatives about getting him on sometime in the next few months. So.
And then a whole bunch of others that we're lining up and getting them scheduled.
We're working on Congressman Ronnie Jackson to join us as well.
Yep.
We just got to get schedules aligned. That's all we got to do there.
So share this, please, and let people know what we do.
Yep. So we are working on some great interviews for you, but and we want you to share this podcast with as many people as you possibly can, and we also want your feedback as well. If you haven't already liked and shared our Facebook page for Get It Right Texoma, please do so, and we want to hear from you. We want your feedback on the show.
Yes, please.
We really do. So, all right. Now, moving on here, we've got Camp Riverbend camps. See, they got that Jefferson theme in my head now. Camp Riverbend camps Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 12, ages 4 to 11. And they still have a few spots open. Very
limited, guys. Very limited. If you want
fast.
And by the time you see this, they may be even gone.
It could be, but it's $100 if you're a Riverbend Nature Center member, $110 if you're a non-member, and that's per child per camp. They got a few spots available. Check them out. Riverbend Nature Center. You can find them on Facebook. You can find them online as well. Just RBNC. Wichita Falls. If you just Google that, it'll. And
like you said before, Jennica Lambert, the executive director, will be in with us in the next couple of weeks to talk about Riverbend and what they have going on.
I'm sure she'll have a few things to say about how camp's going too. Downtown Art Walk happens the first Thursday, with the exception of July 11th. That's the only one, I guess.
Because July 4th is a Thursday this year.
Yes. So, but anyway, and this is going on.
Instead of changing it to a different
shifting it a week
day, changing the date. It'll still be a Thursday, but instead of shipping to a Wednesday or a Friday, which I think is pretty smart because of the consistency. Right. It's still the same day, it's just a different day.
So instead of July 4th, it'll be the 11th.
Correct.
But anyway, otherwise, first Thursday of each month, and it's going to.
And I think it goes all the way through October.
It does. And of course, it's weather permitting too. The weather does impact them from time to time.
I'll tell you, it was bonkers in June or this month, I guess, early in this month. There was a lot of people down there. So if you get a chance, it's great. It's going downtown. If you get there in the evening, the big tall buildings offer a lot of shade and things like that. Yeah. And you'll just bump into people everywhere. It's just great.
It's 5:30 to 9.
Right.
First Thursday of each month again, except for July, which will be on the 11th of July. Whatever.
Well, you're our broadcast professional.
Oh, I don't. It's the meds. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, Texas Ranch Roundup is happening July.
Picked the wrong week to quit snorting glue.
Oh my gosh, I gotta get off these narcotics. Anyway, Texas Ranch Roundup, July 19th and 20th. That's going to be at the. This happens in the. Is it in the Bridwell or is it at the K. Yeager?
The K. Yeager.
They did the K. Yeager. Okay. K. Yeager Coliseum at the Impact, and they've got Casey Donahue performing. Which, by the way,
I think he's only going to perform one night though. He's not going to perform both nights.
By the way, I met Casey. I've been to his shows. I've brought him on stage, introduced him on stage a number of times back when he was playing some local nightclubs and stuff. Really great guy, really great performer.
You should have seen him. He's like, right now, right here on the show.
Be sure.
Casey Donahue.
Right here. Anyway.
Be like Ed Sullivan announcing the Beatles.
I'll tell you what. We talk about Ed Sullivan. I guarantee there's a whole generation of people watching us. Who the hell's Ed Sullivan?
And he wasn't really in our generation.
No,
we just
wasn't.
happened to know about
We saw him on reruns
yeah.
and stuff, and every hacky comedian.
Oh yeah,
had an Ed Sullivan impersonation.
Johnny Carson did.
Johnny Carson was really
Rich Little
was our generation's Tonight Show. Ed Sullivan was before that.
Yeah,
but you saw reruns. Remember the fact that the other thing you guys got to remember, guys. Reruns used to be pretty common on TV because there were only 3 channels.
Yep.
And there was very limited amount of stuff, so they reran a lot of things. Now, with everybody I mean, they got the Ring doorbell network these days. I think that they're producing high quality shows and things like that.
Well, but at the same time, there's still a rerun networks that are just reruns. That's all they do.
You do, and there's several of those now. But early on,
the big guy from What's Happening rerun. Go ahead.
But there was it was called Nick at Night. It was on the Nickelodeon channel, and starting at like 7 p.m. every evening, it would switch to Nick at Night, and it was just reruns of old shows. And early on, they would do I Love Lucy, the Donna Reed Show, the Ed Sullivan Show. They would do, there was stuff from the 50s and 60s, and then it kind of progressed into the 70s and 80s. And I don't guess they even do that anymore.
I don't know.
There's like 6 different networks now that do nothing but old TV shows.
Well, there's a show, there's an app called Friendly, FRNDLY.
We have it.
And they have, the reason I have it is mostly for the History Network, because you can't get History Network on YouTube TV.
Right.
So this app, but they have a lot of old shows and old movies, a lot of old Western movies. Stagecoach, I watched Stagecoach on there, one of the famous Western movies. But they have I Love Lucy and Green Acres and Hogan's Heroes and all those. So Friendly TV, I don't work for them. They're not paying me anything, but it's like $7 or $8 a month. It's not very expensive.
Yeah,
there it is.
It's pretty inexpensive, and you do get a lot of content.
Yeah,
I'll
a lot
check
of
it
old
out.
stuff.
We were, because we just do streaming TV in our house. We don't have cable or satellite. And we actually were paying for Sling.
Sling.
And the price just kept going up and up and up. It's like, okay, here we go again. We're back to paying a lot of money for a whole lot of content we don't utilize. And we discovered Friendly, and it's 1/3 the price.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And gives us everything we need.
Yeah. And if you have questions,
Sling Blade TV.
Yeah. Although we don't know all the plans, by the way, that are out there.
Yeah.
Come see us. It's a little shameless plug here. Come check out an Apple TV.
Yes.
At MacTech Solutions.
At MacTech Solutions, 4020 Ray Road.
Yeah, there's Apple TV and Apple TV.
76008. What?
I'm sorry. I interrupt you. I'm sorry.
You buy Apple TV here, you buy Crapple TV at a big box store, so don't worry about don't go there.
So you have Apple TV and Apple TV Plus, right?
Apple TV Plus is the service, and the Apple TV is the actual
Device,
hardware device.
right.
It's
And
not,
it's
a,
not a
TV.
TV.
It's just a box.
It's just,
You can hook it to any TV, any modern TV.
Right.
Yes.
1080p or higher. Yeah.
Now, do they make an adapter if you've got an old TV?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'd find you an adapter. Yeah, if you want to use your tube TV,
Yeah,
sure.
remember when you had the little slider so you could put it on game mode and TV
Yes.
mode?
Had the little blade connectors that connect to the
There you
antenna
go.
leads on the back of the
That's
TV.
called an RF modulator, by the way.
Yeah.
So, we can hook you up. But anyway, go ahead.
All right. I have no idea. Where the
Friendly
hell am I going
TV,
next?
and
Okay.
we're now
We're-
back.
we're
You were
gonna-
introducing. We got on Ed Sullivan.
Mount Scott.
Yeah.
Mount Scott.
Mount Scott.
The great Mount Scott.
Okay.
Where's
The Great Mount Scott.
It's not on here. It was on the other show. We moved
Oh,
it.
that's right.
Mount Scott Road temporarily closed because of
Where's Mount
construction
Scott?
issues. Wichita Mountains.
Oh, okay.
Mount Scott, I guess, is the tallest.
Well, we've always heard that.
Yeah.
I think Mount Pinchot is the tallest by about 10 feet, but you can't drive up that one.
Right.
Mount Scott is for sure the tallest one that you could drive up, but there is one that and I think Mount Scott may be the tallest in the game reserve itself, but in the Wichita Mountain chain, I believe there is one mountain that's taller. Some people say it's shorter, and some people say it's taller. But if you look it up, I believe it is listed as 10 feet taller.
People from Colorado and California kind of giggle at us when we.
Well, they can giggle all they want. We don't have to go that far to get there. No. But if you've ever been to the Wichita Mountains, it's a mountain range. It's only about an hour north of here, right outside. It's north of Lawton, Oklahoma. And if you're ever driving towards Lawton, you start to see mountains in the distance. And like you said, people can, those aren't real mountains. But you know what? They are mountains.
Yes, they are.
So you can F off. And by the way, I always like that people from Colorado that get snooty about their mountains. It's like, bitch, you didn't build them. You just happen to live there. So it's not your mountain. You can't take credit for them.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get him so wound up
Well,
about it.
I just think it's funny when people get riled up about stuff like that. It's like,
I know.
that ain't really a mountain. Okay.
It is to us.
Yeah, we have a climate, so go
And-
piss
and
off.
we-
That's not really air.
and we enjoy it too. It's a fun place to visit. You've got the Quartz Mountain Resort is up there.
Yeah, I think Pinchot is 10
Okay, well,
I think.
Well, what, What do you call it?
Pinchoch, like Pincoh.
Well, I just searched the highest.
Anyhow,
Mount Scott. But
Mount Scott is having road issues right now, so you can't drive up.
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah. Well, you can't drive up now. Yeah, they had some structural issues, and that's usually where you want structural issues is on the mountain road.
Yeah.
So they're working on it. By the way, have either of you ever climbed Mount Scott?
No, I've not.
Yeah, I did, but it was many, many moons ago. And obviously wouldn't do it now.
No, I wouldn't do it now, and someone would have to carry me, actually. Yeah. So,
but if you ever get a chance, Wichita Mountains, it's a neat little game reserve. There's buffalo herds there. There's a nice big prairie dog town. If you like hamburgers, the Mirror store is there.
Yes.
So and it's only an hour drive. I mean, it's just a nice getaway from Wichita Falls. It's a different scenery and all that.
Yeah.
But pro tip, there is no such thing as tourist buffalo petting season. Don't
go tipping.
Do it.
Yeah, it's not a petting zoo.
No.
Yeah, they're wild animals. People do not realize. First off, they're massive.
Yes.
They're not cows. They're big, huge animals, and they are wild.
And even Trey wouldn't mess with one.
Oh, well, hell no.
No.
Buffalo are they're serious animals.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So you don't get out of your car. Go try to pet one. You're so cute. Look, I want to pet your cheeks. Don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
When they get an ass full, you're in trouble.
Oh my gosh. I just can't.
Yeah.
There's videos all over the internet of people doing stupid stuff with these animals. Stop it.
By the way, it's not the same thing because these are American bison. But do you know what the number one animal that kills people in Africa is? Cape buffalo.
Cape buffalo, yeah.
It's not lions and tigers. It's Cape buffalo.
See, and I would, because I've often read that rhinos are very aggressive animals, and I would have thought the rhino might be the.
Well, I think more people get close to Cape buffalo. I think that's probably the reason why it's proximity.
Yeah.
But Cape buffalo are the ones that they kind of look dopey and all that. They've got big, huge horns, but they look like they have a toupee, like a bad toupee.
Yeah.
And everything like that. But no, they're serious animals.
And when you go to Mears, count on waiting up to an hour or more, depending on the time of day. So just check that out. But the Mears burgers, man, I haven't had one in a while. We got to go up there.
The burgers are huge. A burger can easily feed two people.
A lot of times they'll split it and they'll cut it in fours.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they have the cobbler.
Oh, yeah.
With ice cream. So, all right.
Chuck Schumer, did you guys see the Chuck Schumer photo op?
Chucky? What do you do?
Politicians do this kind of stuff all the time. And they do it, what they're trying to do is make themselves look more like the common guy.
Yeah, yes.
And they usually do it when they know they're in political trouble.
Yes.
When they know they're sinking. Then all of a sudden, I have to connect to the regular guy. And so they turn around.
Yeah. Pull it down. Look at if show the picture of it.
Hopefully.
We need to show a picture. There it is.
There it is.
Okay, so look. So here we go. Look at your screen, folks.
Yeah.
First off, if you look at the knobs, if you can see the whole photo, the grill's not on.
Right.
First off, you don't see any flame behind there, right?
Right.
And also, if you look at his knobs, the knobs are off, right?
Oh, if it's got the full photo, yeah.
Yeah, there's a full photo where you can see. You can't see all of them, but you can see some of these knobs, especially the ones right under the burgers.
Right.
The hot dogs have grill marks on them.
But the
burgers are raw.
And the cheese is on top of the raw.
He's already put a piece of cheese on a raw burger. So that's exactly how you cook your burgers.
So not only does Chuck Schumer look like an idiot posing for this photo, but whoever staged it for him is also equally as stupid because they didn't understand how to accurately pretend to be grilling.
I notice a lot of things in life. And I do this all the time. I was watching something on the History Channel, and this is what happens when you have people who don't know shit from Shinola, as my granddad used to say, my non-preacher granddad. When you have people that don't know what they're doing and they're trying to make things appear a certain way.
Yes.
That's one of them. Here's a perfect example. I was watching the History Channel. I love the History Channel. I was watching a show about mega brands, and CW Post. Yeah, you look at the knobs. Mm-hmm. That's off.
Yep.
Yeah, that one looks like it's kind of to the side there, but it's not. It's not fire. It's not lit. Yeah. Anyhow.
All right, we'll post it.
They forgot to turn the gas on.
Exactly. So he might hurt himself if you do that. So CW Post committed suicide. The guy who posts Toasties.
Yes.
Well, in the History Channel, of course, they don't want to watch him commit suicide. I mean, it's a more kind of a pseudo documentary thing. But he goes in and he has a bolt action rifle, and you see him sit down, closes the door, and you hear. Well, a bolt action rifle doesn't go. No. You heard a revolver clicking, is what you heard. It's the same thing as there was used to be a show called How It's Made, and I really think it's a great show. But at the beginning of it, it shows an end wrench, and they turn a bolt with the end wrench, and he goes. He's like, no, an end wrench doesn't make a ratchet sound. And the problem is you have somebody who just works, who doesn't know shit from Shinola, who's working in a production company.
They have no clue. They don't know how shit sound or what it's nothing.
That's like these stock photos of these supposed technicians soldering.
Oh,
and they're holding the hot end of the like a pencil.
Yeah.
And they're like, boy, if you could do that, I've been burned by that soldering iron many times.
This is almost this thing with Chuck Schumer is almost as dumb as the presidential candidate that had the Democrat Dukakis.
And the tank.
In the tank.
Yeah.
That guy had never been so close, farther away from a tank in his life.
I'll tell you what, if you ever. You probably have a movie called Shrek.
Oh yeah,
Shrek.
And
it was right during my kids. Shrek came out when our kids were in Shrek mode.
So the guy, the character in the cartoon that's the prince. He's a little short dude.
Yeah.
You know. Every time I watch that show, all I think about, I see him on the horse. All I think about is Michael Dukakis in that damn tank.
Yep.
I don't know why, but that just brings back that image of Dukakis in that tank. And, and a lot of political strategists will tell you that photo op probably more than anything killed his...
Well, yeah, it was a lot of things, but that sure didn't help him any.
No, it didn't.
But stuff like this, I mean,
because it got people laughing at him.
You look like a dork.
Yes, he does.
It's just, first off, you kind of look dorky anyhow. Chuck Schumer's a kind of a strange-looking guy. He kind of looks like the Count Dracula, Count on, I just saw this, the Count on Sesame Street.
Yes.
1, Mississippi, 2, Look at him. Look at this picture there.
He creepy smile too.
Yeah, and he's got that
he
angular
like
face and that pointed nose. He looks like the Count.
But he just the whole thing though. I mean, come on. This guy hasn't prepared his own meal or a meal for his own family probably ever. Yeah. And second of all, whoever staged this photo, fire them. They're an idiot.
That's the biggest thing because now you look like a doofus.
Yes, and they made you look stupid.
Yeah.
They helped you help yourself look stupid.
Oh, well.
Well, do you want to jump to the CDC prevention thing? Because this is probably going to take up the rest of our time. It's a little bit of a deep dive here, guys.
So former CDC prevention director Robert Redfield has predicted a bird flu pandemic. He said that bird flu will enter humans and that it could have a significant mortality, quote unquote. He has noted that bird flu has a significant mortality when it enters humans compared to COVID-19. He's predicting the mortality is probably somewhere between 25 and 50%. Gee, I wonder why they might want to, again, bring the fear-mongering to the table. What could possibly be happening? Oh, that's right. That's right. We need this distraction, don't we? We need this distraction because of this little thing coming up in November called an election.
When does he say this is going to happen? Does he actually?
Did he give a timeline?
No, I think he's just throwing it out there. But it goes back to, guys, there's been a lot of people, and look, I've never been a conspiracy theorist, but it's harder and harder to not be these days. And it is. When you kind of talk about, and it's kind of been on the horizon over the last couple of years, is what's going to happen? What's the distraction going to be? What to try to make things strange around the election time, before the election time, and also to try to distract the American public from realizing that the commander in chief can't literally string a sentence together. Guys, this isn't funny. And this happened not too long ago. We talked about it this morning. It happened, I believe, Tuesday, the same day that they dropped the water restrictions in Wichita Falls, by the way. Yeah. And Joe Biden, and I encourage you to go and look at the tape here. And I think maybe the next show we'll talk about these things called cheap fakes. This is a thing the Democrats are talking about.
Yeah, they're calling it. Yeah,
but we can have a whole show about that, or a whole segment about that. But Joe Biden is sitting there, and he starts off with a bang, and he says, "Hi, I'm Joe Biden's husband." Ha, ha, ha. And he sounds strong and powerful. He said, "I want to thank all the senators and the congressmen." That's what happened, guys.
Yeah.
It wasn't edited. It wasn't. And he just, and nobody could understand what he said. And I know that there's been a lot of speculation that there's something is going to happen, that somebody is going to try to dream something up to try to cause a distraction here before this election. And all of a sudden, Joe Biden is declining daily. We're seeing it over and over again. The election's on the horizon. Trump's poll numbers are blowing through the roof right now.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we have a former CDC prevention director who's going, bird flu.
Yep.
And it's going to kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
Guys, I am. If you've ever paid attention to the show, Mike Hendren show, I was on that show for a long, long time. And I'm not a conspiracy person, but unfortunately, when things like this happen and timing happens, because I do believe in coincidences. I mean, that's why the word exists. But you see stuff like this, and you kind of go, eh.
Well, and
something doesn't add up here.
The former
doesn't add up here.
Because you don't, to some extent, the CDC itself doesn't want to, because they have a website that's monitoring the situation, by the way, and they are saying it's low right now, but they're going to keep an eye on it for us,
guys.
And so H5N1 is the.
Well, the CDC kept an eye on that coronavirus as well, didn't they? And enacted shutdowns. By the way, Dr. Fauci is now walking back all of this stuff. Why can a guy like that get away with basically enacting rules and regulations that killed millions of people?
Wow.
And, literally killed millions of people and kept loved ones away from their from their family.
Yeah.
And perfect example, we have a friend that we went to high school with. His father-in-law died in California. He lives in California. His father-in-law died during the pandemic.
Right.
Okay, and he has 4 children, and only 2 people were allowed to go see him to say goodbye, his wife and one of his children.
Right. Well,
how do you choose that way?
Right. Well, and the big driver, I think the significant part of that is not that they necessarily came down. They made recommendations, but what they did is they tied those recommendations to funding.
Absolutely.
That if you, 2 things they did is they offered additional funding for anything related, if you can tag it as COVID related.
That's why people were dying in motorcycle accidents and being swabbed post-mortem and, died of COVID because it got $10,000 extra.
And then they, by saying, we talk about the retired or the older folks that were in the homes and things, a lot of those are funded by Medicare, Medicaid, probably more Medicare. And because of that, then they have those organizations have to follow the rules that they were set out by the CDC, because that's what the state or whoever said they're going to do. And so they just shut out all the families. And
here's what's sad about this, guys. We need the CDC. There are some really nasty shit in the world. Some really bad bugs and some really bad things that are bad. We need people like the CDC there. And I think probably most of the people that work at the CDC are good people, and they mean well. They didn't go to work for the CDC to say, hey, I'm going to go dupe the American public. They're scientists, they're doctors, they're people that mean well. But the problem is they get caught up in the bureaucracy of it, and then you get these multi-levels, and all you got to do is get a few people on top that are bad seeds, and they want to control people, and it pushes down on everybody.
Well, here's what I know. Fauci's apparently got a book out. If they were giving away copies with $100 bills inside, I wouldn't take one. That's how much I want nothing to do with
You'd
this
rather
guy.
dance for your $100 bills.
I would rather, and I will take my clothes off.
I'll give you $200 to keep them on.
See?
That's how I make money. I go to the strip club and I go, I'm going to take it off, and they're like, no! And they throw money up on the stage to make me keep my clothes on.
Walks out with $500-$600 fully clothed.
That's a strategy, yes.
Anyway, that's how he picks up lunch money.
So keep an eye on this, and you can say that it was brought up here, right?
That's true. It just, it's one of those deals. It's
terrible.
Trey said it.
It's scary, and it's really scary because not only are we paying good money as taxpayers to fund the CDC, we need the CDC, but we need to be able to trust them.
Right. Well,
and that's what's scary.
Well, here's the thing, though. It took politicians, though, to take those words of Fauci and the other people who are, because scientists, that's what they do, is they're there to calculate risk, and then they say, okay, politician, here's what we think, and the politicians were scared, many of them. Right. I mean,
absolutely. Even locally. By the way, even locally, I'm not letting anybody.
We had county level
school board,
people,
county, city. No, I'm not letting anybody off on this bullshit because had you done the research?
That's right.
As soon as this hit, as dinky as my little store is, and I just have a few employees, but I felt 100% obligated to my employees, their families, and my customers.
Right.
But I started doing a personal deep dive. I spent hours and hours and hours doing research and not listening to Fauci or the WHO or the CDC. I started going out and seeking doctors out. There were a consortium of doctors in America. And what you do is, if you want to know the real truth, find out where there's no money being made.
Right.
And you have people putting their reputations on the line and spending their own time and not making a nickel.
Right.
Yeah.
Not making a nickel to try to put truth out there. Right. And when those people are doing that, you better start listening.
And it's safe to do what everybody else does, especially if there's money to go along with it. It's the safe way to do it.
And that's part of it. And keep in mind, folks, part of the reason that we're in the economic situation we're in today is because, A, we shut down the world economy and we train wrecked the whole thing. Yep. B, our government sent out trillions of dollars in mailbox money to your bank accounts. Everybody was getting a check for $1,200 or $2,600 or $5,000 or whatever. Yeah. And money was just being sent out hand over fist. When you print money like that, you create inflation.
And we're seeing it.
That's what happened. And what we're going through economically right now, what we're still trying to recover from today, is a direct result of things that they did to us in 2020 and 2021. The next time they come up with something like this and they tell you, you need to shut down your life, you need to shut down your business, you look them in the eye and tell them to go to hell.
Absolutely, you got to push back. And by the way, Donald Trump is not immune on this. Donald Trump's the one who started sending the mailbox.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
did. He
did.
started the inflation. Now, I truly believe had Trump stayed in office, inflation would not have hit the record because I think the course correction would have been made.
Right. Well, and he would have. I
think there would have been a course correction that Biden did not do, and I think also the other contributing factors, the oil and gas business Biden going to war with the oil and gas business right off the bat, and the illegal immigration crisis that we've had. I think all of those added to keeping the inflation going. Yeah. But the fact of the matter is, Donald Trump signed the executive order to start the inflation problem. Do not let him off the hook on that either.
No. But do not ever again let the government tell you you have to shut your life down because of X, Y, Z, whatever. Right. Don't let it happen. We cannot afford to go through that again. We cannot do it. We cannot do it. If it happens again that way, I promise you, it's going to be disastrous on the level.
Life has risk.
You got that right.
And by the way, you're going to die.
Yeah.
Everybody, we're all going to die. We're all going to get it.
Yes.
Hopefully we delay that.
Hopefully we delay it. You want to do the best you can delay it. You want to live a healthy life if you can, all that. But the point is, in the end, something is going to get you. It could be old age. It could be cancer. It could be something going on in your body you don't even know about. It could be the bird flu. Who knows? It could be whatever it is, but something's going to get you. Life is a zero-sum game.
I could get hit by a beer truck out here in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Trying to drop off Terry's delivery.
Yeah. And then smile as you're looking and go, at least it was a beer truck.
Right. Button, first of all, H5N1, just keep that in your mind. Prime look for that to make sure, you can say something about it. But right now, according to the CDC, we've had 4 cases of humans getting the the H5N1 virus.
And apparently it's a pretty nasty bug. You don't want to get it.
Oh, no, you don't.
It's just hard to get.
All right. Following exposure to dairy cows, 3 people, which is interesting, and then 1 got it from poultry.
But you think about it, how many people are exposed to dairy cows and poultry every day? Millions and millions of people in this country raise cattle, milk cattle.
That's right.
Work in the cattle industry, work in the poultry industry. Right. Millions and millions, and there's 4 people got something. Yeah. That doesn't minimize the fact that 4 people got it,
Right.
But you start doing the odds.
Yeah.
Right.
And we've had over almost 10,000 birds, wild birds detected. Poultry is 96 million, almost 97 million birds of some sort.
Fry your chicken.
101 dairy herds. And then jurisdictions with bird flu at 50, states with outbreaks in poultry, 48 states with outbreaks in cattle, 12. So we've almost had everything. So I guess that's probably except for Alaska and Hawaii.
Oh, so 96 million birds and 4 people.
Yeah.
Like I said, just keep your eyes open, but don't start panicking just because you hear the CDC says. Right.
I'm still eating my fried chicken.
Their job is to present facts, hopefully objectively,
yes,
and then make some percentages and estimates and things like that. But the politicians have to help, because we're a representative democracy. We don't have a direct vote on that, on most things. And what did I say? I
democracy.
said that wrong.
You're representative republic. Right?
Republic, yes. I'm sorry.
Representative
Misspoke.
republic.
Yeah, we are not a democracy, and that's the. And so we need to dig into one last thing. We need to dig into how the Democratic Party got their name, because if we're not a democracy, but yet they're Democratic.
Well, it used to be Democrats. They changed it to Democratic, I believe, in the 70s.
Well, but still,
it used to be the Democrats. It was not the Democratic
But still,
Party.
even that, the root word is still.
No, I understand.
How does that become a primary?
I just want to know how the hell we had the bull moose and the Whigs.
Well, we'll see. So with that,
we'll have an educational show.
Teddy was a bull moose.
Yeah, he was. You damn right.
All right, guys, we're out of time. Again, brought to you by Eddie Hills Fun Cycles, 401 North Scott, downtown Wichita Falls, EddieHillsFunCycles.com, MacTech Solutions, 4020 Ray Road, Suite 3B, MacTech-Solutions.com, and Lollie and Pop Sweet Shop, LPSweet.com, the website, and on Facebook, Lollie and Pop Sweet Shop. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to like and share the links on all your social media, and we want to hear your feedback. We really do want to hear from you and hear how you're enjoying the show, and please share the links with everybody you know. Just random strangers. We don't care. Anyway, until next time, guys, take care. We'll see you.